We getting into it, and she was like, really, dude, you don't want this shit. You don't want this shit. And I was like, what? Y'all already know the vibe. It's Storytime Friday. You know what to do. Sit back, relax, grab your little snacks, and tune in for this tea.
Hey, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. About none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. About none of that shit.
We're gonna get right up into the video. Before we do that, y'all make sure y'all give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I'm here. I made it. What's up? Tuning in, boosting for the YouTube algorithm, because you know that's another story. YouTube be playing people, unsubscribing people. So make sure you subscribe with your bell notification on so you can be notified every time I post. Okay, I got something in store for y'all, so just be ready. What else? I'm gonna put my social media on the screen for a little minute so y'all can follow me there on TikTok, Instagram, all that. I don't know why I got this nose cuff in, because I will be touching it every 2 seconds. I'm so sorry. All right, let's get into it. So just by the title, if you like an OG Storytime watcher or whatever, you know, you catch every Storytime Friday, then it probably seemed like this video is about Dum Dum. If you know Dum Dum, you know. But it's not. This is actually very, very old, and it's crazy because how I remembered this, I was going through my Google Photos, deleting old photos, and then I came across these pictures of this nasty food that I was served. And I was just thinking, like, how could I forget this girl? It's not even I forgot her. It's just so old and just dumb. I don't know, y'all. But anyway, let's get into the story. All right. So, timeline. A little bit of a timeline. This was after my first boyfriend, Drew. And it was before my most recent ex, Dre. I don't know why I made their name so close. It was an accident, okay? Dre is also the person I have been with for the longest. And we have a daughter together. Anyway, if you don't know, me and Dre worked at Walmart together too, and we're gonna get into it because he got a little cameo in this story. Oh my god. All right, y'all, we're going back in time, and let's go back to when I was 18, working at Walmart. Oh my god, the person I talked to the most was this girl named Sharkeisha. If you own a membership, you already know about Sharkeisha. If you don't, go to the video titled Liar Liar, and that's gonna tell you a little bit about what you need to know about her. So yeah, she was like the main person that I talked to. Around this time, a lot of people was quitting Walmart because they like to work the crap out of you. Like a Hebrew slave, they will work you, overwork you, and not pay you for it, all kinds of stuff. So y'all, I remember one time they made me clock out, and then he was like, oh, no, you need to go zone this area. So I'm like, okay, can I clock back in? He was like, no, you need to just go do it right quick. Y'all, I'm 18, not knowing no better, so what I go do? Do it right quick? Dumb. Oh my god, they really used to finesse us. Anyway, a lot of people was quitting, so they had like this influx of hires. So it was so, I feel like they overhired because they knew that some people was gonna fall off and quit or whatever. So it was so many new people. Neek was working there at the time. A lot of people got hired. Dre even got hired, but at this time I didn't know that because we wasn't working on the same shift. I think he was like a mid shift, and he was always like in the freezer, so I had never seen him. But a few people that did get hired was this girl, I'm gonna name her Columbia, and then it was 2 dudes. I'm gonna name one Diggy and then one Dragon, because the one that I named Diggy, he gave Diggy Simmons like great value, almost dollar store. And then Dragon, I'm gonna name him Dragon because his breath was always hot. Okay, his breath stunk, but he liked to be in your face. Or should I name him Chip? Because he had a chipped tooth and it used to bother me. Like, you're not gonna get that fixed. Let me stop. But it would just be all up in your face, start your breath hot and your chip tooth. Like the wind is just phew, 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 making a whistle noise through that tooth. Get back. Can you get back? So Diggy and Chip, they stalkers. So they like basically stock the shelves overnight or whatever. And then Columbia, she was a cashier just like us. So at this point, they had a hiring influx, but they still didn't hire a lot of cashiers because some nights we would be doing stuff all by ourselves. So the most people that they had on the shift was like 2 or 3 people for the longest. It was like that for the longest. Mind you, 1 person on the cash register and then 2 people putting back the returns. Everything that was picked up throughout the day, they about to go return it to the area. But I felt like every time a female got hired at a job, like the rumors would just flood in. And then on top of the rumors, you would have like every single dude in the store just like gawking over this girl, like this one girl, because it's somebody new, it's an unfamiliar face, and they happy that they got something new to look at. That I feel like that's what everything, every job, every school, everything, you know. Columbia was the new hot thing. And y'all, the rumors was just really bad. And honestly, I didn't believe the rumors because when I came, like, people was saying stuff about me. They didn't know me. I didn't talk to nobody. So I'm like, all right, that's everybody, dude. Like, that's just what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know, I'm not feeding into the BS. So I didn't believe the rumors or nothing like that. And she would always come up to me and tell me, like, did so-and-so say this? Or did you hear this? Like, who's saying this? Who's saying? I'm like, girl, you care way too much, because when I was new, motherfuckers was saying something. I'm like, bruh, nobody has ever talked to me. Nobody has ever said like 2 words to me except for one person. And I think that he was the person doing it, actually. Y'all, I legit had a Walmart stalker, and this kind of made me remember. Basically, I did not care because nobody talked to me for real, and she just cared too much. And she was like, I don't care though. Like, girl, you care. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about that, blah blah blah, like whatever. I kind of liked her because we was the same. Like me, I don't know if you noticed, I've been trying to cut it back, but potty mouth, I got a bad mouth, I cuss a lot, and I don't even be meaning to. Like, I really have tried to stop, but back then it was worse. It was like a curse word every other word. Like, nobody wanted to talk to me. No, not with like adults, but just like people my age. I'd be like, man, I don't even know what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, just unnecessarily cussing for no reason at this point. And she kind of did the same. So yeah, anyway, we going on about the work day or whatever, and then it's my turn to go do a few returns, and then somebody else was on the register. So I'm doing returns with Columbia, and we was just really talking, getting to know each other. We kind of picked baskets in the same area so we could kind of talk a bit. So one of the stalkers in the area that we was in was like, hey, you know, so-and-so saying this and that about you. And she was like,
I don't care. Like, I wish people would stop telling me I do not care. I'm 5'5", skinny, waist length hair. Look at me. Of course everybody in here going to fuck me.
So I was like, okay, confidence, okay. She was going in. That really pissed her off because the girl just got there. So everybody is like, oh, she's messing with this person, that person, blah, blah. I'm like, how? She been here 2 weeks. You know, that's what I was thinking. I was on her side, like, stop coming for my sis. Okay, let me stop. So yeah, she going on and on like,
I got a man. I wouldn't mess with nobody in here. Y'all are all not on my level. I'm this, none of these bitches can fuck with me.
So I was like, wait, hold on now. Damn, I was with you. But now you just going in. Like, calm down. Because, bitch, I ain't doing nothing to you. So she talking about none of these. Girl, I ain't doing nothing to you. So it was, I brushed it off because I liked her. You know, I liked her attitude. She was kind of going on a rant, but I could understand because it's annoying. I've been there. So anyway, like I said, we kept getting baskets, like, for the majority of the time that we was doing returns in the same area or close to the same area. So we talking the whole time, and she was like, yeah, I got 2 kids. One is 6, and then the other one is whatever age. I don't even know how old, probably 2 or 3. And I should put my phone on Do Not Disturb. God damn it. So I was like, 6? You got a 6-year-old? And she was like, yeah, girl, I'm 23. And I was like, what? Or was she 24? She was 23 or 24. I cannot really remember. And I was, but the whole point was, I thought she was my age, 18. And I was like, girl, I thought she was 18. And she was like, no, I'm 23. And I was like, what? Oh my God, you look good. Girl, 23 is not old. When you are 18, why did my 18-year-old brain think that 23 was old in that moment? I guess because she said she had a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old or whatever. Another reason I liked her is because we kind of joked the same. Like, she got my joke. I feel like this would have offended anybody else. So she was like, well,
like, you're 18. I don't really talk to girls younger than me or younger girls, but you're cool, I guess.
And I was like, well, I don't usually talk to grandmas, but I mean, you cool. And she started, and we both like bust out laughing at the same time. Anybody else, I feel like they would have looked at me stupid and been like,
bitch, fuck you.
Like, what? Like, or took offense or something, but we both bust out laughing, and it was just like real genuine. I was like, I like this girl. Sense of humor, I like her. That's all you gotta, sense of humor. Can we laugh together? You know, do we have anything in common? Can we vibe naturally? Like, no awkwardness? We're friends. So, like I said, they had hired all these stalkers, and Diggy and Chip, they were always together. I thought they was best friends at first, but come to find out, they were cousins, and they both just moved here from California, and they both got hired at Walmart at the same time. So yeah, basically, I see Diggy doing something, I don't know, but I'm with Columbia, and I was like, oh girl, Diggy kind of cute. Like, he remind me of Diggy, like Diggy Simmons. And she was like, yeah, no, not my type. And I was like, girl, what's your type thing? She was like, well, I only date black guys, but you gotta be tall. You gotta be this skin color. I think she said like dark skin. So I was like, okay, well, first of all, girl, I said Diggy's cute. I wouldn't talk about for you. Like, Diggy's about to be for me, okay? She was like, he looks real young. He has this like baby face or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we just going on. And I'm like, he cute. She was like, well, why don't you go talk to him? And I was like, I don't know. Like this, I was still really, really shy at the time. Like, I feel like I was only shy if I was attracted to somebody, because other than that, like, I wasn't too shy. Other than that, like, I wasn't scared to talk to nobody and stuff like that. But if I thought she was cute, like, I got nervous. My nerves took over and I just got real awkward. Very awkward. Later on in the shift, around like 2 a.m., which was everybody's lunchtime. Oh, excuse me. Everybody in the store went on lunch at 2 o'clock except for the cashiers. So every stocker, like if you were to come into Walmart, I don't know how it is now, but if you was to go into Walmart at 2 a.m., you could steal your life away. Let me stop. That was so long ago. It's probably so different now. Oh, you know what, y'all? Walmart ain't 24 hours no more. Ain't that sad? Don't y'all miss when Walmart was 24 hours? Would Walmart close by 12 or something now? That sucks. Anyway. So much for that. Anyway, so yeah, basically all the stalkers went on lunch, so it would be like this influx of people trying to buy snacks, frozen dinners, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, Diggy and Chip was like one of the last two people to buy their stuff. That was just basically getting chips and a drink and stuff. So yeah, she was doing returns, but by that time she was going to lunch too. Yeah, I think I was the only cashier that went to lunch at 1 a.m. because I came at 9 a.m. And then, I came at 9 p.m. and then one person goes to lunch at 2 and then one of us goes to lunch at 3. That's how that went. So yeah, she was going to lunch too. So she come up to the register when Chip and Diggy is at the register. And she was like,
hey you, what's your name?
And he was like, Diggy. My name Diggy. And she was like, oh, okay. And he had this smile, like he had the Diggy smile and everything. It was so cute. And then the other boy is like, yeah, my name Chip. And she was like,
okay.
Like, nigga, nobody asked you. And I was thinking the same, like, who asked you? Who asked you to talk, Chip? No, seriously, I wasn't thinking like this at the time, like, with an attitude. Like, Chip just brought something. He was annoying. We're gonna get there. He was so annoying. Yeah, so Columbia's still talking to Diggy, and she was like, so how old are you? And he was like, I'm 19. And she was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I'm thinking she asking all these questions for me, because I done caught the little shy bug or whatever, and she know that I think he cute. I don't know. So I'm just thinking that until the girl is like, oh, okay.
I like him young.
You like him, huh? Sis, I just told you that I thought Diggy is cute. I just told you that. Did I not just tell you that? Strike one. But I was just like, what? So yeah, Diggy's just doing this awkward smile. And he was like, well, how old are you? And she was like, I'm 23. And then he turned like to me because I'm checking them out. And he was like, how old are you? And I was like 18. And he was like, yeah, that's more my speed right there. And then he just started smiling at me. And I was like, nigga. Oh, I melted a little bit. And then like at the same time, like Diggy and Chip are kind of talking over each other. So at the same time, Chip is like,
oh, you got a cougar on your hands. You got a cougar on your hands.
Yeah, Chip saying that. And then he was like,
yeah, I like them old though. I like them old.
And now everybody's just looking at Chip like, shut up. Columbia was like,
dude, what?
Like, basically, like, what? I'm not old. But yeah, anyway, everybody busts out laughing and they kind of just walk off and go to their lunch. And she walk off with them. So I'm just like left at the register by herself. Anyway, time going by, and one of these days, Columbia's asking me like, who dyes my hair? Like, she really want to get her hair dyed. She want highlights, whatever. So I was like, girl, I do it myself. And she was like, what? Oh my God, can you dye my hair? Mind you, Columbia literally is like 5'5" or 5'4", and she got waist length hair. And it was so freaking long. I want to say she was 5'5". Anyway, whatever, her hair was so long, it really touched her butt. So I was like, yeah, girl, I can do it. I'm just lying because I ain't never dyed nobody hair that's that long before. But I was like, let's give it a shot. Okay. Columbia allegedly, and I'm gonna say allegedly for the sake of the video, she allegedly five-fingered 2 boxes of hair dye from Walmart, the ones that came with the cap, and then you like pull the hair through and just dye the hair that you pulled through so it can give highlights. Yeah, she got 2 of them. So I go to her house the next day, and I dye her hair. Y'all, dyeing her long hair in the bathtub and she bent over and everything like that, it took 3 hours. 3 hours. And then we didn't have enough hair dye, so really I just dyed like the upper part of her hair. Like if you was to part 3 times and like lift her hair up, it didn't have no dye. But anyway, it was cute though because her hair was like this chocolate brown color, and then I gave her some blonde highlights. It was really cute. I didn't know nothing about toning, but it actually still came out cute. So yeah, I dyed her hair, wash it, condition it, and everything like that. And when we done, 3 hours later, she was like, oh, can you blow dry it and straighten it for me? Girl, you out your mind. Okay, you got too much hair. Okay, no. So then she tried to bribe me with food because she started cooking while her hair was drying, like air drying. She started cooking. And she was like, I'll make you some food and blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm about to make you some food. And I was like, no. She still made the food regardless, y'all. The food, I skipped the whole part of how she would brag about knowing how to cook. Oh my God. How did I skip that part? She had a whole Instagram. It was something chef. And I was just like, girl, not you really finna post this on the gram. So she took a picture of the food and she actually posted it on Instagram. Like it was good. It wasn't. Anyway, Columbia had 2 kids, whatever. So when I was over there, I was playing with her daughters a little bit while we was waiting for her to die and stuff like that. Like, I like kids. Like, I'll play with them, especially at this age. I didn't really have patience to watch them like overnight or nothing, but I'll play with your kids and tell them they cute 100 million times, but after about a few hours you gotta go back to your mom. Anyway, the food was not good. She posted it. Like, I'm just trying to figure out who she used to cater for, because she said that she used to cater. She used to work for somebody catering. Maybe she used to just like set up the stuff and serve the food or something. Maybe she wasn't a cook. I don't know. Anyway, fast forward though. So yeah, like I said, Neek was working at Walmart at this time. At this time, me and Neek had just started being on like a high and buy basis, and I was getting real close with Columbia. So I'm thinking we friends at this point. Like, I met your grandma or whoever else was over there, because she lived with somebody. I want to say her mama or her grandma. I can't really remember, because first of all, they was never there. Like, I probably seen them 2 times. One of the times they was in the garage pulling out when I was walking through the door. So I didn't even see them. I just heard their car leave. So yeah, I was at her house a lot, and then she lived so close to me. Like, I would sometimes go to her house when we got off of work. I got off first, so I would have to wait for her to get home, and then I would go over there. We would chill for a little bit, then I would go home, like stuff like that. I remember one time we was at work working the same shift or whatever, and once again we both on returns, which me being on returns was pretty much rare. If we had this one CSM, y'all, you on a membership, then you know which one I'm talking to, the customer service manager that was always in everybody's business at the front. If she was working, I was always on the register. But if she wasn't, then I could walk around and do returns, which I like to do because I like to walk around and eat and drink me a little soda pop. So we walking around doing returns in the same area, like we besties, and we just like ducking and dodging the managers and stuff. So I'm just saying little things about Diggy, and she must have been sick of it or something, because she was like,
girl, if you don't go up to him and tell him something or say something to him, I'm gonna go up to him and say something, and I'm gonna show you how it's done.
and I was like, well, damn, let me go on and stop talking about Iggy, because I'm definitely not going up to him. Like, I don't know, y'all. I was just really, really shy. I couldn't, if he would have came up to me and started a conversation, that would have been different, but I'm not going up to him first. Like, I was too shy for that. I was like, dang, girl, I listen to you talk about dudes all day, every day, and you can't hear a few little things about Iggy? Okay. At this point, I was starting to see some stuff, and I ain't like it. Cause y'all, I promise you, when I was at her house dyeing her hair, she was talking about her man, the dude. She was showing me pictures of him or whatever, and she was just talking about their little problems, the issues they having, and how he complained that she worked too much and she go out too much on the blah, all kinds of stuff. Just talking about him the whole 3 hours, and I'm trying to be, who am I trying to be? Ayana. I'm trying to fix her life, help her, give her advice. And girl, I'm 18, so she probably wasn't even taking what I was saying seriously. She just probably wanted to vent to somebody. And girl, I made 4-5 comments about Diggy over the span of what, a week or 2, and now you irritated with me? I don't like people like that. Like, in friendships, I feel like it should be like, now that's something you could go 50-50 on. In relationships, not so much, but friendships, I feel like, yeah. So I was like, girl, I'm not gonna play with you. If you knew me back then, I said, I'm not gonna play with you. Girl, I'm not gonna play with you for everything. Like, it could be funny, I could be mad. Like, that was universal, like, little sentence for me. That could mean anything, okay? So I was like, girl, I'm not gonna play with you because you do be flirting with him. And she was like, girl, I don't want that kid. That's just how I am. Like, I'm flirty. I don't want him. He's not my type, blah, blah, blah. Going on and on about how Diggy not her type. So, I was like, okay, whatever. Basically, like, over the next few days, every time we saw Diggy, she'd be like,
girl, there your work, boo. Go get your work, boo. You better talk to him before somebody else does.
And in the back of my head, I always thought, like, who was this somebody else? You? Because it ain't really that many females that work up here. I noticed every time that Diggy and Chip came around and we was like all four talking, she would just be doing like little weird shit. Let me give y'all an example because I remember this. One time we was having like a regular conversation, but she would always find a way to like make the conversation turn sexual. Just saying like little sexual innuendos and stuff like that. So I don't remember what exactly Diggy said, but she was like,
Boy, do you see these lips I got?
immediately Chip was like,
Ooh, they look good for sucking.
and Columbia was like,
I'm just saying, I'm not no little ass girl.
and I was like, what that had to do with what we was talking about? And it was like all the time. The first time we laughed, everybody bust out laughing. The second time, hee ha ha. But the wait, what kind of face did I just make? I really want to know because I can't see what kind of face I just made. I might cut that shit out. Anyway, the third time it was like awkward. Now this is about the fourth time you done did this, and now I'm just not even finna play it off no more because why? I just really kept a lot of stuff in the back of my mind. Anyway, fast forward. Now it's been a few weeks. I'm not really thinking about Diggy no more because it's like a time limit for me. Once I think somebody cute, they haven't came up to me or like made it clear like they want to talk to me or anything like that, like I kind of just like stop thinking about them and move on. I don't be worried about them. So yeah, this night I'm off, and Columbia, I think Columbia was calling in again. One thing about her, she was gonna call in. So she was calling in again, and she called me. She was like,
Yeah, my grandma made tamales.
one thing about it, I'm a sucker for some tamales. I'm a sucker for them. So she called me. That's all she had to say, especially if they spicy. Ooh, she was like,
We got jalapeno, we got this, we got cheese, blah, blah, blah.
so I was like, I'm there. Say no more, say less. So about an hour go by and I get over there, right? I walk in, I see her run around with a chicken with her head cut off. She like throwing clothes everywhere, like she trying to find clothes. So I'm walking in, I don't smell no food, first of all. But I did bring some nail polish because I did promise her oldest daughter that I would paint her nails or whatever. So I'm like, what are you doing in here? What's going on? And she was like, girl, I gotta get ready. Like, I need to find something to wear to the bar later. I might have to go somewhere. Do you want to come with me if I have to go somewhere to find something to wear? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And she was like,
Do you want to come with me to the bar? Oh, God, you're not 21. I forgot. Never mind. Maybe next time. And maybe you could get a fake ID and this and that.
and I was like, I'm good, girl. I'm good. So, you know, I walk in hungry. I ain't even ate because I'm thinking about this food you said you cooked. Your grandma cooked. So I was like, girl, where the tamales at? And she was like,
Oh, they're in the freezer. They're in the freezer. I forgot to take them out, blah, blah, blah.
and I was like, why are they in the freezer? And she was like, because we made them a few days ago and we put half in the freezer and then we ate the rest that was in the refrigerator. So I was like, but I thought you said she just cooked them. And she was like, no, I just remembered, and I remember you saying that you liked them. So I was like, let me give her some because I don't want them to go bad in the freezer and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the hell? I'm thinking I don't care either way, but I'm thinking they fresh. But they're frozen. They've been in the freezer for a few days. There's no way that they're gonna thaw out in time for me. Like, I'm not staying over here basically long enough for them to thaw out. At this point, I'm thinking, all right, let me paint her little daughter nails because I promised it to her, and then I'm finna go. She was like, I can take some out for you or whatever, and I was like, no, it's okay, I'm good. She was like, well, don't worry about it because I'm about to start cooking. So anyway, she started cooking. She cooked some, like, oh my God, y'all, it was some pasta. She was like, I'm finna make Alfredo from scratch. Da 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 da. So I'm like, oh, she finna hook it up. Maybe last time she was rusty, but this sound good right here, y'all. She take the Prego can. She take the can of Prego from, the can of Alfredo from Prego. Dump it in the thing, you know, do the usual. Get some water up in it, whatever, dump it. I think she add pepper and like the 2 tiniest pinches of salt. And I was like, you don't think you need more seasoning than that? She was like, no, this Alfredo comes seasoned. It's like fine by itself. It's good. Boom. She finally get done. That's all. Oh gosh, she finally get done. Make the plates, take a picture, post it on Instagram, give her kids food, and then make me a plate. I tasted and I was like, oh no, no ma'am, no sir, please no. But the kids, you know, kids are used to eating whatever their parents cook, so they wolfing it down. And I was just like, no, I can't. So I'm I was like pretending to talk to the 6-year-old. I was like, it's good? Is it good? Oh yeah. She was like, so cute. And so Columbia was like, okay, I'm about to go take a shower right quick. Like, just give me a minute, like basically. Fast forward, about 30 minutes passed by, right? And she's just walking around. At this point, she out of the shower. She walking around and with her hair wet and like her robe on and stuff because she just got out of the shower, like I just said. So yeah, she get a phone call, and after she get off the phone, she was like, okay, so-and-so, go get you and your sister's stuff ready. So I'm thinking the dad is the one that called, and the kids are about to go, and I didn't get a chance to paint the little baby nails. So I was like, okay, next time, it's okay, next time. She was a little sad about it, but she really didn't care. So yeah, she go outside and she let somebody in, and I go in the kitchen to like throw their plates and food away and stuff. So the dude that she had been talking about as her man coming in, I'm assuming that it's at least the youngest child's father, because that daughter looked kind of mixed, like she had some kind of tan to her. So I was like, okay, maybe that's her dad, or maybe that's both her kids' dad, because he's the only one here coming to pick up both of these kids. So yeah, I'm throwing their food away and stuff and just like cleaning up their mess. Why was I playing like Susie Homemaker in somebody else's house? Lord. So yeah, they standing there talking stuff. Then her oldest daughter started calling her, and she was like, can you go up in there and help her? So yeah, her oldest daughter started calling her, and then she was like, can you go up in there and help so-and-so? I'm gonna be up in there. So I'm thinking, okay, she just want to continue the conversation with him right quick and then go talk to and then go help her daughter, and it's just gonna be like a quick second, right? That's what I'm thinking. I go up in the room. I'm helping them put their shoes on, like find their bag and whatever. The 6-year-old really knew where the stuff was. I think she just had a question for her mom, whatever. Nonetheless, I get them ready, and then like I just sit them down and they watching TV up in their room, right? So at this point, maybe like 10 minutes go past, and I'm just like, I'm watching TV, so I got like sucked into the TV. But then I realized like this girl said she was gonna come up in here in a hot second, and it's been 10 minutes already. So I told the little girl, stay there, like watch your sister right quick. And then I go out and I look for their mom, like where is she? Like, so I go up in the kitchen, nobody in the kitchen, the living room, no. I go outside and nobody's outside, but his car's still outside. So I was like, okay. As I'm walking back inside, the 6-year-old is like walking towards the door, like, where's my mommy? And I was like, I don't know, honey, but let's look for her. And she was like, maybe she's in my grandma's room. And I'm like, oh, the grandma room, because there is another room in the house. So I'm following the 6-year-old there into the room, and we're just talking, and she was like, are you about to leave? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to go, and y'all are about to go too, so don't worry. She was like, no, don't go, I don't want to leave, blah blah blah, just like, because she really liked me. Like, I played with her, we watched TV, whatever. I played with the other little baby too. We just had good times. And I was like, don't worry about it, I'll see you next time. And she was like, okay. So I'm just still following her to the grandma's room. This happened real quick. And as we getting closer and closer to the grandma's room, like creeping up around the corner, I start hearing noises. We get closer. I hear that these noises is moans. So once I realized it's moans, I'm pretty sure the daughter already heard it because she's in front of me, guiding me to the room. So I hurry up. I put my hands on her ears like this, and then I turn her head around, turn her whole body around, and I try to like talk over the moans, like, okay girl, come on, let's go watch TV, like, you want me to paint your nails? Like, I just say something real quick just so she wouldn't hear it, to drown it out. And I know they heard me by the door because I was trying to be loud with it so she wouldn't hear. So we hurry up and walk back to the other side of the house where their room is, which is like by the front door. And we go up in a room. I'm like painting her nails, and I paint her toes because that much time had went by. So really, I paint her nails first because I thought I was just gonna have enough time to paint her nails. I thought they was gonna come out the room any moment now because they know that people heard them. No. So more time go by. So I was like, okay, let me paint her toes. And then the other little kid, they was probably tired out or something because they had taken a nap on the bed. So we just up in there watching TV, and I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, it's about to be like 30 minutes of this, plus the extra 10 minutes that went by earlier, so 40 minutes. I guess looking back, I feel like I could have just left, but I didn't just want to leave the kids like that. I don't know what the house dynamic was. I don't know if she just do this, like have the kids sit in the room while she go in the other room. I mean, the kid was 6, but I don't know. I didn't know what to do with kids. Like, I felt like kids needed to be watched. I had never had kids, and I still feel like a 6-year-old need to be watched. I stayed because I didn't want to leave them by themselves. And the little baby wasn't asleep the whole time. And I don't feel like a 6-year-old can like watch a little baby properly. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe she can. Let me think about my daughter being 6 watching a baby. Not really, no. Trust me, I've seen my daughter with a baby. I mean, I know a 2-year-old is not really a baby, but it's close. It's closer. closer to me. A 2-year-old is closer to a baby than a toddler. So basically, I just felt the need to stay and keep eyes on these kids because they could get into anything. They could find a pair of scissors, hurt themselves, fall off the bed. I don't know. So much time had passed by that the 2-year-old had took like a little cat nap. Y'all know a little cat nap is like 10, 15, 20 minutes. And she had woke back up. At first, she didn't want her nails painted, but now she want her nails painted. So I'm just painting nails and more time is just going by. And at this point, I'm getting annoyed. So I'm like, okay, y'all stay here. And I kind of close the door behind me just so like they won't come out the room because... Come on now, I don't want them to see, like, I don't know if they're walking around the house with robes on, robes open, slanging stuff, slanging. I don't know what's going on out here. So, oh, I forgot when before I left the room, I had heard them talking. I heard their voices closer. So I'm like, okay, at least they out the room. So I told them to stay in the room and I closed the door behind me. So I go up in there and I'm walking up on a conversation and they just talking. All I hear is, you gonna be my baby daddy. And he was like, yeah, you wish I was your baby daddy. So from that, I knew that he wasn't these kids' dad, right? I got the hiccups. So anyway, I'm walking up and I got this crazy ass look on my face. And so Columbia's like, what's wrong with you? I didn't know you were still here. And I was like, ooh, ow. I was like, why wouldn't I still be here? So I'm like, me and your daughter was looking for you and she went to your grandma's room and she heard what was going on. And she was like,
why were y'all looking for me? Why was she looking for me? Why was she just sitting in a room watching TV? I told her to sit down and watch TV. Like
going in. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. I told you I got the hiccups. Going in and actually getting mad like it was their daughter's fault. And I was like, girl, it's not her fault. Like, she wanted to know where you were. She thought that she was leaving. They both thought that they was about to leave. And so did I. I'm like, instead, I'm watching them for like an hour because you just went up in a room and didn't say nothing. You made it seem like you was about to come back in here and help them pack their stuff and leave. So the dude was like, all right, Columbo. Like, he called her the nickname to her name, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna call her Columbo. He was like, all right, Columbo, I'm finna go wait in my car. And she was like, oh, okay. Yeah, she was like, matter of fact, you could just come back later. Because I guess they was going out. She was going out to the bar with him that night. She was like, nobody told you had to stay and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why would I leave a 6-year-old to watch a 2-year-old? Like, I really had the same logic back then. Why would I leave a kid to watch a kid? God damn it. Why would I leave a baby to watch another baby by themselves, and especially for that long? But that seemed like something that she did, and I didn't know that. But even if I did know that, I still wouldn't have left them. My bad, y'all got the fucking hiccups. And Columbia, she was one of the people that really just said whatever she wanted to say, whatever was on her mind. She was like, well, nobody told you had to stay. You wasted your own time and blah, blah, blah. And I just looked at her like, bitch. So I was like, girl, I'm not gonna play with you. Nobody told me I had to stay, but why would I leave them? Why would I leave them? She was like, girl, I don't care. It doesn't matter. They're fine, blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, I turned around. By this point, I'm turned around walking and she's following me into the room because I'm about to go get my keys and get my phone. Thank you, baby. These hiccups is killing me. And I'm about to just dip out. So I told the little girl bye, give her a hug. She was like, thank you for painting my nails, blah, blah, blah. And then the other little baby was like, thank you. And her little tiny baby was like, I get my keys and I leave out. Like, I slammed the door. I ain't even gonna lie. I slammed the door. So Columbia opened the door, but she didn't say nothing. She just like slung the door open. Sorry, these hiccups is, y'all fighting for my life. These fucking hiccups is on my neck. So she opened the door like this and she didn't say nothing. I'm walking to my car because I had parked on the street and the other dude, he was just now pulling off. So yeah, I look at her, I get in my car and I drive off. All dramatic, because I'm like, I know you ain't being a weird ass bitch right now. Like, whose logic is that? But maybe it was her logic. Maybe, I don't know. I really just felt like it was my place to stay, and I really couldn't believe that we was like getting into it because of this. But that made me realize like a lot on top of everything else. Like, she already, like I said, she was one of the people that just said whatever was on her mind, right? So she would just say some like slightly out of pocket things, and I was just like, what, girl, what the hell? But her doing this today, I was like, no. So yeah, we didn't talk after that at all. Like, that was it. It was spoken. It was like an unspoken spoken thing that we not cool no more. It's 2 days later. I'm back at work. Y'all, this store was a very, very messy. So Chip come up to me, trying to make small talk all up in my face, breath hot, burning my eyelashes off, just like talking mess, trying to be flirty. He was just all over the place. He was trying to be messy. He was talking mess. He was trying to flirt. He was trying to do all of the above. So finally he goes,
oh, and you know, Columbia gave Diggy head.
And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, how you know that? And he just looked at me and smirked because Diggy is obviously his cousin. So I was like, I don't know if I would believe that. But even if it did happen, I do not care because I'm not even worried about Diggy no more at this point because it had been so long. Diggy ain't even never tried to get at me like that. So what I'm going to be mad for? Like, he said it like I was supposed to be mad or something. I was like, but where did she do it at? Because, you know, I got a little curious. So where did she do it at? Because he mentioned that we was at work. And he was like,
They did it in her car yesterday on lunch.
I guess. So you know how somebody kind of just waiting around for you to really talk mess about somebody or something like that. I was not about to do that. So he just like, yeah, man, I don't know about her. You know, just saying little things to make me be like, yeah, she a Howard. No, I'm not gonna do it, Chip. Get out my face. Because first of all, Chip was very, very messy. He the type of dude that will try to like suck you into talking mess and then take it back to that person like,
yeah, they was just talking shit about you. Like, I don't know why. Unprovoked.
boy, you provoked the whole situation, so I'm not finna fall into that. No. So nothing really came about that.
Many months later.
At this point, Columbia had changed her department, so she was a stalker now. She was no longer at the front being a cash register. And honestly, I don't know how she got to change her department because everybody at the front our customer service manager, she did not want to lose none of her people because we already didn't have a lot of people. So nobody could really go to another department. I remember I requested to be in electronics and it was like up in the air for months until finally it was like no, we don't have enough cashiers and blah, 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 because I was really sick of the front. So somehow she got to go ahead and switch. I don't know. Yeah, now she's a stalker. Now she's working back there with the dudes, pulling out pallets. Actually, I literally never seen that girl pull out a pallet. It was always a dude pulling out her pallet. At this time, Dre had started working overnight and we was like, cool, you know, whatever. We had our little friendship thing in the beginning. And me and Diggy was barely cool. It was more like a high and by cordial type of thing when he would come check out for me and he'd be like, what's up? How you doing? How's your night? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool. What about you? Whatever. And then he would go on about his business and we wouldn't talk for the rest of the night type shit. One day, I'm on my 15-minute break and the bank up in Walmart, they used to leave their TVs on overnight. So I was just standing over by the bank watching their TVs, right? And Diggy walked up on me and he was like, what's up? Like, how your night been and stuff like that? And I was like, cool, whatever. And he was like, why you don't talk to me no more? And I was like, we only have enough time for high and buys. So, and he was like, nah, you make time for other people. Most likely talking about Dre because me and Dre, we would take all of our breaks together. We would try to, our lunches together. Like I would try to go late or he would try to like wait for me, whatever. Or my lunch was usually earlier. So I would go over in his area while he worked and just like talk to him and try to duck the managers and stuff because we was cool. Like he was hilarious. To this day, I think Dre is the funniest dude that I've ever met, literally. So he made me laugh and he was cool. I didn't like him at this point, but we was really cool. Like we had this little kind of flirty thing going on. I think I was starting to like him at this point, but we weren't together or nothing. So I know he was talking about Dre because the rumor was before me and Dre was even dating, the rumor was that we was dating. Like everybody always wanted to pair you up with somebody that you just was not paired up with. They was trying to play messy matchmaker in Walmart. Basically, me and Diggy, we just small talking, right? And he bring up Columbia. He was like, I don't see you really talk to Columbia no more. And I was like, nah, I don't talk to her. And he was like, man, we sick of her. Like, he didn't ask why or nothing. And you know why he didn't ask why? Because I know that he talked to Columbia. I seen him. I always see her, like, hovering around him like a damn, what do you call them? A vulture. She just always around him like a vulture stalking his prey. And I was just like, oh, my God, whatever. And this girl, I thought he wasn't your type, you know? Anyway. So I already know he knew like some type of the story that went down because they talked. That's why he didn't ask no questions. But basically he was like, man, we sick of her talking about the stalkers because what she would do is she would get the dude stalkers to basically do a lot of her work. She would act like a damsel in distress type of thing. Like, oh, this is too heavy. I can't do this. Can you help me with this? Like, I've even been walking around the store doing returns and I seen her do it. I seen her like finesse somebody into pulling out her pallet and doing some of her work. And when you a stalker, you got to have like a certain amount of stuff like on the shelves or stocked or whatever. I don't really know how it went. But I know there's quotas that you got to meet. And if you ain't meeting them, like they going to kick your ass to the curb. you're gonna get fired. He was complaining about how lazy she was and how she never did nothing and how she always wanted to just walk around like she was cute. And he wasn't the first person to actually say that. Our customer service manager said that about her too. So I was just like, like, I feel like everybody was just coming up to me trying to make me talk mess about Columbia, and it just wasn't working. Not even everybody. It was really just Diggy and Chip. Cause even though Chip was talking mess about her, I still seen Chip in her face after that. Listen to this. The conversation switched with me and Diggy, right? And he was like, so when you gonna give me a chance? And I was like, you always seem to like Columbia, like be interested in Columbia. And he was like,
What? Man, nah, Columbia cool and all, but nah.
Then he proceeds to say,
I even told her that I liked you, but she said that I'm not your type. So what's your type?
y'all, the look on my face wouldn't have been more shocked if I tried. Like, I was like, what? Like, the nigga was too stunned to speak. Like, y'all, I was like, what? I was like, what? I never told her that. And he was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm positive. Like, why? I didn't tell her that. Like, y'all, I was stumbling and stuttering over my words. He probably thought I was lying, but I really was not lying. I was just too stunned to speak because I had always said little things about Diggy and how I thought he was real cute and this, blah, blah, blah. And to the point where she got annoyed with me over mentioning him a few times. I was just, whatever. So anyway, he was like, so then can I have your number? And I was like, yeah, you know? So I give him my number. As soon as, like, I said the last 4 digits of my number, as soon as that last digit came out my mouth, Dre walking up to the bank to watch the TVs at the bank. Because I feel like everybody stopped at the bank to watch TVs for like a few minutes, to watch the TVs for a few minutes and then went on about their business. So yeah, he walking up. Oh my God. And I feel like he came in such perfect timing that he probably heard me give Diggy my number, you know? We all single. Don't get me wrong. We all single, but it was like me and Dre had that little chemistry flirty thing going on. And then now me and Diggy, you know, starting to listen. Oh, y'all, and then not to mention this other dude, he like produced music. I felt like the shit. Okay, I felt like the man. I had 3 little side pieces going on. Like I had a little roster. Y'all. This was like my roster was growing, so I got a little cocky. I was like, okay, you know, I got this one, I got that one, I got that one. So yeah, Dre Walker, it's a little awkward, but we all 3 like try to talk. I don't even think Dre and Diggy ever talked to each other before at this point, but I mean, at this point, y'all only got me in common. So what are we finna talk about? What is all 3 of us finna talk about? I mean, we made small talk. It was dry and awkward. So eventually Diggy ended up touching my arm like, I'ma see you later. And then he walked off and go about his business. Y'all, so as soon as Diggy leave, Dre was like,
Hey, what's that, your little side nigga?
And I was like, baby, I'm single. And he was like,
Yeah, all right, remember that.
Okay. Y'all, I don't know how I got into a relationship with Dre and them tables turned like that, because I was playa at first. Like, we're single. You're single. I'm single. What? Yeah, there's a rasta. Dre said that little comment and I'm like, I'm single, baby. And we flirted a little bit and that's pretty much it. The break was over at this point. The whole 15-minute break was gone. So yeah, let's see. Fast forward. I think this was like a few days later because this wasn't the same day. Fast forward a few days later, I'm on break again. I'm talking to Maribel. I'm outside in front of the building. And this was like at 2 a.m. lunchtime. Somehow, sometimes I would go to lunch at 2 a.m. If somebody wanted to go earlier at 1 a.m., we would switch. So the whole store, like I said, was on lunch. And if you ever been to Walmart like overnight, 2 a.m., the store was still open, don't get me wrong, but customers was just not, you know, it was just mostly the Walmart workers around. So nobody was around. Everybody's like going to their car, walking around, walking outside, smoking cigarettes, whatever. So I'm outside with Maribel and I'm on my phone. We're talking. I'm looking down, texting probably the members of my roster. So at this point, Columbia, I don't know if she must have went to go get something out of her car or something, and she walking back in the building and she walked past me and Maribel and she said something in Spanish. Right? I heard her mumble something in Spanish, but you're not looking at me, so you're not talking to me. That's how I used to feel. And Maribel was like, did you hear that? And I was like, what? And she was like, she just called you a fake bitch. And I was like, what? For one, I want to make it clear. It's not like I was going around the store talking mess about her, telling everybody like, oh yeah, she left me in the room to watch her kids while she got some dick for an hour. I didn't tell nobody nothing. Even when Chip came to me, even when Diggy came to me looking for any little piece of information, mouth closed. Because me and Columbia was cool. We had our time. It is what it is. We're not cool no more. Honestly, I was getting tired of her. I did notice that she did little fake stuff. And I don't know. I don't even want to like get too deep into it. And it was just like other little things outside of it because I'm not really finna tell that. I don't know. That's really her business. I really do feel like I used to overshare. So I'm going to just keep it. I was just really getting sick of her anyway. I mean, I loved her daughter. I loved going over there for her daughter. For one, I had her daughter's, what was it? It was like a tiny toy. I don't know, one of them little mini dolls. So I still had the mini doll in my hand. We arguing and stuff. I never dropped the mini doll. So I had it. And when I left her house that one day, slammed the door and then she opened it and all that stuff, I still had the tiny toy in my hand. And I realized it on the way home. And I was like, oh, I told that little girl, don't worry about it. I'm going to see you next time. And there was never a next time. So that really got to me. Like, I really meant that. I was trying to see her next time. So like I said, it's 2 a.m. in the parking lot. Nobody in the parking lot except for the Walmart workers. So at this point, Columbia, she's not even like by the entrance of the Walmart yet. And I'm like, Columbia, what? And Columbia turned around and Maribel was like, speak English next time. Because one thing about Maribel, she was a little firecracker, okay? And I was like, well, shit. Not me having a little unprovoked backup, okay? I did not expect her to say that. I had never, honestly, I knew Maribel was a little firecracker. She did her little jabs, but she got a buck in this very moment. I was like, dang, Maribel, I didn't even ask her to have my little bag. She just had it. I was like, okay. Columbia was like,
You're an instigator. You're an instigator. That's fake. Are you serious? You're fake.
calling everybody fake, not taking accountability for nothing. Mind you, she talking about Maribel, the instigator. And she was like, that's fake, you're fake, whatever. So I was like, Columbia, you the fake one. Because you got a problem with me? Like, we can walk around here and not speak, but you not finna be like walking by me mumbling stuff in Spanish all the time. Looking back, if she walked by me and mumbled something in Spanish, she talking shit. Just from this one instance, my brain will already associate it with, okay, this bitch is talking shit. Only because 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna know what you saying. So I'm gonna just think you talking shit. Like, we getting into it, and she was like,
Really? Really, dude? You don't want this shit?
you don't want this shit? And I was like, what shit? Because I was thrown completely off. I'm like, what shit? Because first of all, I had never heard Columbia get bucked with nobody. I remember we was talking one time, and she was like, I don't fight, but I'll fight if I have to. Like, I'm too pretty for that shit. But the last fight I got into, I was swinging all the way from back here because my arms are super long. Just all kinds of stuff. Just going on and on. And I was remembering that, like, so when she was like,
You don't want this shit?
and I was like... Y'all couldn't even take that girl serious. I started laughing, and then Maribel started laughing, and then Columbia had this little smirk on her face. And I was thinking, I hope she don't think I'm laughing like everything is okay, because girl, I still don't like you. We all start laughing, and she was like, dude, you need to relax. But she said relax in Spanish, but I knew how relax sound in Spanish because it almost sounded the same in English to me. So she said she was saying it in Spanish, and I was like, no, you need to relax. And she looked like, this bitch know how to say relax. But I'm like, girl, it's close in English and Spanish. I don't know. She looked weird. Like, how does she know what I'm saying, basically? So I was like, you need to relax. You need to relax your face. Every time you walk, every time I look at you, you're mugging and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, or what? Or what? And I was like, or I'm gonna want that shit. And then one of the stalkers came back and he like got in between us. I'm like, I'm not gonna touch this girl. You think I'm about to get fired for her? I know where she live at. And she was like, well, I know where you live at too. I'm like, no, you don't, bitch. No, you don't. You dropped me off around the corner. You thought I walked up to the house. Y'all, because... Y'all, one time, what happened? Oh, did she come and pick me up? Oh, no. I stayed late one day. So I could go to her house, and then she was like, I'll take you home. Don't worry about it, whatever. So yeah, I stayed till 7 a.m. when we got off, and then I went to her house, and then we chilled for a while, and then she took me home. But I told her to drop me off at the corner, and I literally pretended to walk up to the house. Like, I was in somebody else's yard, walking up to their door. Thank God Ring cameras didn't exist back then, because they would have been like, what the fuck? So yeah, I walked up to the wrong house, but by the time, like, she don't wait for people to get in the house. Like me, if I drop you off, I'm gonna wait for you to get in the house. But she like spent hitting the block, she did like a 3-point turn and then left. So she didn't like wait to see, oh, she really went in the house or whatever. So that was the wrong house. So yeah, I was like, girl, that's not my house, basically. You thought. Tell me why Walmart is so messy to the point, and it was either her or the stalker. Maybe it was some other people outside in that car watching or whatever, but Walmart is so messy to the point where the rumor around was me and Columbia got in a fight outside in front of Walmart. Who told this? Like, that game of telephone, like, it went completely wrong. We didn't even like get close to each other. We barely was raising our voice. How did that go from that to a fight? How? So somebody must have really took this story and ran with it. I mean, drug the edges off of it. That was ridiculous. To the point where the customer service manager was like, so I heard that you and Columbia, you know, y'all had an altercation in front of the building. I hope that's not true. We're going to check the cameras and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? This lady really gave me a verbal warning. Next was a write-up. Like, if I did anything else, it was going to be a write-up. And I think at this point, I had already had a write-up, and 3 write-ups, you getting fired. So I was like, are you serious? She was like, you know, it's after a verbal warning and blah, blah, blah. I was so fucking annoyed. Oh my God. Anyway, fast forward. I'm getting to know Diggy in this moment. And I mean, he was cool, but I don't think Diggy was somebody that I would have dated. And I feel like everything happened for a reason, or maybe not, I don't know, because I still made the wrong decision anyway with Dre. So yeah, one day Diggy, we talking, and he was like, yeah, you know, me and Chip moving back to California. And I was like, oh no, why? I think they was living with his grandma, and I don't know, they just wanted to move back to California because they was more stable in California. I don't know, I really just felt like they was homesick, maybe. I was just like, dang, I'd have knocked one down off the roster. I was one nigga down, and I was sad about that, not the actual fact that he was moving. After Diggy tell me that they moving, about 3 weeks go by. Like, they still working there for 3 weeks, and they was working there for so long to the point where I thought Diggy was lying about moving, but they actually did move. So around this time, like, I'm getting closer to Dre. Me and Diggy still cool or whatever, but like I said, the rumor around the story was me and Dre was dating before we was dating anyway. Like, we was literally always together. He would be just like touching my butt and doing like little stuff that people could see and stuff like that. We would just be blatantly flirting. So I could, at this point I could see why people was like yeah, they go together or whatever, even though we didn't. Like, damn, literally everybody in that store was having sex with everybody, and we just flirting and touching. We ain't even been there yet. So oh no, oh, Walmart is just the messiest place you could ever work. All of a sudden, when I feel like me and Dre doing more things out in the open, Columbia wanna, like I said, basically stalk her prey and like hover over him like a vulture, be all up in his face. And you know they stalkers, so she had easier access. I'm all the way in the front, so who knows what I didn't see. But when I would walk around and do returns, I just noticed that she was just always sashaying up and down his aisles and stuff, like always in his area. And I'm like, girl, she was by his area, but I mean, like, where she worked at, her area was by his, but girl, it's clear that me and him got something going on. At that point, when I saw her like trying to be all up in Dre's face, I'm like, okay, this girl just really trying to bother me or something, because first it was Diggy and now it's Dre. What are you doing? Anyway, I don't know. Karma must have spent the block on her or whatever, because her ass got fired before she could try something. And I know that she would have tried something with Dre, but she just got fired before she could. So yeah, her ass got fired. I don't know if she wasn't doing enough work or whatever. I can't remember what the real reason was, but I think it was that. Like, she wasn't doing enough work as like being a stalker. So she got fired. I remember one day me and Dre, we was like on lunch together, or maybe it was a break. We was whatever. We was on that same display couch, hugged up the same way. And I see him on Instagram, and this was like, we wasn't nothing, right? So he not trying to hide his phone or nothing like that. So no, he wasn't on Instagram. I seen him on Snapchat, and he was looking at some familiar looking disgusting food. And it was Columbia posting her food on Snapchat like it was a 5-star meal. Girl, ew. So I'm like, you got Columbia on Snapchat? And he was like,
man, yeah, that girl took my phone, added me on Snapchat, and then a few days later, I get a request for her on Instagram.
And I was like, take her ass off of Snapchat And he was like,
man, I was already thinking about doing that because all she posts is this weird looking food.
and I was like, Dre, I went to that girl's house and she cooked for me. It tastes terrible. It was terrible. And he was like,
man, that shit look terrible.
so I was like, take her ass off of Instagram too. And he was like,
all right, I'm gonna do that.
Whatever. Break was over. So I think it was like around our last break. We always meet at the couch, and the couch was by his area. So we on the couch, hugged up, whatever. And I was like, can I see your phone? And he was like, why, for what? And I was like, I'm trying to see if you took that bitch off of Instagram. And he was like, man, mind you, he was scrolling on Instagram, and I had seen her like something. Instagram didn't have stories, so I must have seen her recent post or something, and he scrolled past it, and he didn't think I saw it, but I kind of did one of these, but I just act like I didn't see it. And then like a few seconds later, that's when I was like, can I see your phone? And he was like,
oh yeah, man, I'm finna do that.
And I was like, okay, do it. Long story short, he didn't do it until like a couple of days later, and that should have been a red flag. That should have been a red flag. But it wasn't a red flag because I didn't even think that I would ever talk to him like that or anything. And that was just something little that I forgot about, to be honest. But looking back, it was a red flag because I've had so many of them type of situations that I lose count with him. That was the story of that was the story of Colombia. Oh my God. Like, girl, the girl actually, I want to say a week after she got fired, she blocked me off of Snapchat. And yeah, I never spoke to her again. And she might have blocked me off of Instagram too, because I don't recall taking her off of my social media. So she had to have blocked me. And yeah, basically I never spoke to her again, never saw her again, nothing. So I don't know what she doing now, but I hope she not cooking, okay? And to be honest, like, I still don't know what she called me over to her house for that day, because she didn't have the food that she said that she had when she initially invited me over. Then, like, I really just felt like I was, like, in the kitchen with her kids, feeding her kids. Then I was in the room with them watching TV and painting their nails. Like, it gave babysitter, did it not? Unexpectedly, years later, like, I was in the same kind of situation with Dum Dum. And if you don't know, Dum Dum is Dre's brother, baby mama. So yeah, it was like a cycle. It was a cycle that has since been broken, because y'all, honestly, journaling and reflecting helped me realize that I used to do a lot of repetitive things. I was stuck in a lot of different little cycles. And you got to break them cycles, or it's going to keep happening forever, because people only do what you allow. Not setting a boundary, you're allowing it. Not speaking up, you're allowing it. Not saying no, you're allowing it. So set them boundaries, learn how to say no. No has definitely become my best friend. I don't care how nobody feel, because you can say I'm this and that, and I'm saying no for a reason. If I'm saying no, you're crossing some kind of boundary, and people just really need to know how to take no as an answer and respect it and move on. Some people just can't take no, and then they get mad, they act out, they lash out. Oh, I ain't got no family and this and that. Okay, I guess you just don't have no family, but just remember you made that decision by yourself. Or I guess we not cool, but just remember you made that decision by yourself. Anyway, y'all, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and your bell notifications is on. Y'all already know I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Bye. Oh, I've been in the sun. Oh, I look sun-kissed. Oh, yes, I love it. Trying not to wake up my little barber. Okay. I done woke up my child, Lord. You're so beautiful. If I be quiet for like 2 minutes, she gonna go back to sleep. It's working. Not my scarf slipping back. No, I'm sorry, babe. You cannot watch your baby. I see. Anyway, so what are you doing? Open your eyes, because if you accidentally jump on my laptop, somebody calling me. So? Get that phone for me. When the producer, I talked about him on a membership. He was the one that he asked for a little guac. Meanwhile, I'm sleeping on the floor. Boy, you was not getting nothing guacky around here. I remember one time the producer came in and Dre was like sitting up with his arm around me and we was just like chilling on the display furniture. That's when Walmart had display furniture. I don't really see that no more. Anyway, so yeah, they had this little couch on display. And the producer, and he was like, hey, what's up? Like waving to me and stuff. And I went over there, I gave him a hug, and then I sit back down and put like Dre's arm back around me. He snatched his arm so quick. He was like, man, you hugging niggas? Man, nah, man, what? You not finna do that, da-da-da. And I was like, boy, we are single. What is it? Yo, I love these, but not this one specifically. I like the ginger one better. This is the one I like. Ginger lemon. It was so hilarious. Oh my god. Then he was talking about, let me cook for you, blah blah blah. Mind you, Drake could cook, but on the membership I already talked about how he used to cook when I first started talking to him and going to his house. The first like meal I had at his house, hypertension. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack and die. Like it was so salty I could not eat it. Like she didn't use enough salt and he used too much salt. They both need to meet in the middle and just that would have been a perfect amount of salt. Anyway,